Okay, so as you may have guessed from the title of the video, this is on substitution. We're just going to do a quick introduction and then lots of practice questions. So you need to follow along as we do this. So something we discussed in class, when do you come across substitution? Well, one example is in football when you substitute players for each other. Another example is, for example, delivery from supermarkets. If you order tomatoes and they run out of the type that you ordered, they might replace them with other different type of tomatoes and they will substitute them. Substitute teachers you have sometimes, or cover teachers that replace the teacher if they're not in. Also in Pokemon is a good example where you can substitute during battles. So essentially what we're looking at is quite similar, and when it applies in maths, is just we're replacing something with something else. Pretty much equivalent to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, in lessons this would be a mini whiteboard activity, but since we're not in class, I would expect you to write the answers. You don't have to copy the questions out. The answers in your book. So I think there's more than 10 questions here. So you just make a list, maybe with 2 columns. You don't need to go all the way down the page. You can just kind of split this up. And then I want you to check your answers. Now in each of these questions, I'm going to give you a few seconds and then I'm going to show you the answer. So I want you to actually do the answer, work out the answer before I tell you what the answer is, and then you're going to mark it correct or wrong. Now question 1, I'm going to do for you just as an example. I'm going to say, what's the answer to question 1? Pause the video. And you're then going to pause the video, and then once you've done it, you press play, and I will pretty much immediately start going through the answer. So then I'll say, okay, well in this case, A is 10, B is 4, and 3 is just 3. So 10 plus 4 plus 3 is going to be 17. And then you tick your whack. Okay, so that's question 1 done. You don't need to write that one in the book. If you have, great, you've got your answer. So here is question 2. So again, pause the video as soon as you see the next question, and then we'll go through it. So question 2, pause it now. Okay, so you should have an answer. This is going to be 2 times 10, which is 20. Give yourself a tick if you got that. Question 3, pause the video. Okay, I'm going to go through the answer now. So AB is going to be 10 times 3. A is 10, B is 3. 10 times 3 is 30. Okay, question 4. Pause the video. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the answer. You know that A is 10, multiplied by B is 3, and then you multiply by C. So you end up with 30C as your answer. Give yourself a tick if you got that, otherwise correct it in a different color. Question 5, pause the video. Okay, so I'm going to go through it now. So it's going to be 2 times A, which is 10, times B, which is 3. So it's 2 times 30, which is 60, or 20 times 3 as well. Okay, question 6, pause the video. Okay, I'm going to go through the answer now. This is going to be 2 times 10 times 3 over 5. Now, 2 times 10 times 3 is going to be 60 over 5, which is 12. Another way some of you may have done it is you cancel the 10 to make 2. Divide by that by 5, and then the 5 becomes 1. Then you get 2 times 2 times 3, which is 12. Okay, question 7, pause the video. Okay, so in this case you would have got 5 times 10 plus 3 times 3. And hopefully that would have given you 50 plus 9 is 59. Okay, give yourself a tick if you got that. We're going to look at question 8. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, and I'm going to show you the answer. So 2 times 10, take away 10 times 3. That will end up being, I'll write that down there. That will end up being 20, take away 30, which is negative 10. Give yourself a tick if you got that. Okay, now the next question is question 9. Pause the video. Okay, this is going to be, now in fact before I even work out what the b part is, I know that 10 over 2 is just going to give me 5. So I'm going to do 5 times b is 3, so I just get 15. Another way to do it, perhaps a longer way, is I'll do this on the left hand side. It's going to be 10 times 3 over 2, that's just going to be 30 over 2, which also is just going to give you 15. So both ways are correct, whichever one you prefer. Okay, question 10. Pause the video. Alright. Now again, 12 over 4 just gives me 3. I can cancel that down, so it becomes 3a over b. Now if you didn't do that, that's fine. You can still multiply it out the long way. Just make sure you get the same answer at the end. So this becomes 3 times 10 over 3. That is just going to cancel down to give you 10. Yes, sir. The other way some of you may have done it is you would have done 12 times 10 over 4 times 3, 120 over 12, which is 10. Okay, question 11. Okay, I'm going to go through it now. So we want to substitute the numbers in first. So 5 brackets 10 minus 2 times 3. That then becomes 5 times, well, 10 minus 6, which is 4. And then 5 times 4 is 20. Great. Question 12. Pause the video. Okay, now I'm going to go through this. So hopefully you have an answer. It's going to be 3 brackets 2 times 10 take away 3 times 3. That then becomes 3 brackets 20 take away 9, and then that becomes 3 brackets, well, 20 minus 9 is 11. 3 times 11 is 33. Give yourself a tick if you got that correct. Okay, question 13. Again, no calculators needed for this. Work out what 6n is. Okay, I'm going to show you the answer now. So it's going to be 6 times a half. So just like fractions, we can just put it over 1. So it becomes 6 over 2, which is 3, your final answer. Give yourself a tick if you got that. Question 14. NM. Okay, so in this case, I can see that it's going to be 1/2 times 2/3. Now we can just multiply out, or we can cancel before we multiply, cancel the 2's. So that just becomes 1/3. Give yourself a tick if you got that. Question 15. Pause the video, have a go without a calculator. Okay, this now I'm going to show you the answer. It's going to be 1/2 plus 2/3. Now what do I need when I'm adding fractions? Well, I need the same denominator, so I'm going to multiply this by 3/3. I'm going to multiply this by 2/2. That then becomes 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6. So 3/6 plus 4/6 is 7/6. And that is your final answer. Give yourself a tick if you got that. You are allowed to write 1 and 1/6, but there's no reason to do that. You can just leave it as an improper fraction. Okay, next question. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, I'm going to go through it now. So it's going to be 2 times a half plus 2/3. Now 2 times a half is just 1. Now instead of writing 1, I'm going to write 3/3. And you may guess why. Yeah, because they have the same denominator. So So this is still 1 plus 2/3. And then that then becomes 5/3 or 5/3, and that's your final answer. That was question 16. Now we're going to do question 17. Pause the video, have a go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the answer now. So it's going to be 1/2. Take away 2/3. Now again, we need the same denominator, so multiply by 3/3, multiply by 2/2. So make sure you're showing all of this working out when you upload your work, when I ask for it. So here this is going to be 3/6 take away 4/6, which is -1/6. So give yourself 2 ticks if you got that correct. You get a negative answer. Okay, question 18 in your books. Okay, I'm going to show you the answer now. 1/2 divided by 2/3 becomes 1/2 multiplied by 3/2. Then we just multiply the top, multiply the bottom, is 3/4. Okay, question 19. This is defo non-calculator. If you look at it carefully, there's a nice efficient way to do this. Okay, pause the video. So hopefully you have an answer now. I am now going to show you the answer. So 3a plus 7a just makes 10a. And that's the nice part of, that's what makes this question easy, because it's just 10 times 2.4, which is 24. Okay, I hope you didn't try to do 3 times 2.4, 7 times 3.1 without a calculator, because you can do it, but you don't have to do it for this question. Okay, question 20. Have a go. Okay, pause the video. Alright, so hopefully you've tried the question now. This is going to be 10b. Now, if you draw a line before the signs like I showed you before in the previous topic, negative 7a minus 3a is going to give you negative 10a. So we're now actually left with 10 times 3.1 take away 10 times 2.4. So that then becomes 31 take away 24. So 31 take away 24 is just going to give you 7. That's your final answer. Okay, so that's a lot of practice you've just done. We're going to continue this in the next video, and there's some great content coming up for that, so make sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next video, guys.